Is Congressman Jeff Van Drew from House Judiciary, along with New York Post columnist John Levine. Great to have both of you with us tonight. We touched on this topic just moments ago with Congressman Jordan, but Congressman Van Drew, I will start with you. Elon Musk is basically saying, I bought the company, I exposed what went on over the course of the last couple of years, and now they're coming after me. Your thoughts?
Well, it's so typical. I mean, you know, it was okay for the FTC not to care what was going on, not to care about a loss of freedom, not to care about a loss of free speech when it was conservatives that were being censored. Now that it's a different story, now that we're telling the truth, that the information is coming out, we literally have an FTC that is weaponized and going after not only Elon Musk, but the reporters that got the information as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you either have freedom of speech or you don't, and frankly, we don't, and we have to bring it back. And what's being done is heinous, it's wrong, and it's something that really is contrary to everything that we believe in America, including our First Amendment rights.
And John, they want four things, essentially, that they're asking for. They want the IDs of the journalists that had access to the archives. They want internal communications related to Elon Musk. They want an explanation on why Twitter fired Jim Baker. And they also want information tied to the layoffs and the Twitter Blue subscription service. You know, you look at this list of demands and say, really, what grounds do they have to ask for any of this? Twitter is a private company.
Absolutely. You know, I'll just say it's so incredibly, you know, as a journalist, I'll say it's so incredibly disturbing to see the federal government seeking this kind of information about reporters who were involved in a story that was critical of the federal government. And it just runs roughshod over the First Amendment and freedom of expression, freedom of the press, and I think it goes a long way to explaining why we have a committee investigating the weaponization of the federal government right now. You know, to your point about seeking all that information, you don't see the FTC going after Facebook in this way. You don't see them going after Google or Amazon. And these are also companies that had large layoffs. But they're not interested in consumer data from these companies. It only seems to be Twitter, and it's very convenient that it's after Twitter was involved in a massive story, which cast a lot of these agencies in a pretty negative light.
Congressman, please. Congressman Van Drew?
Yes.
I felt like you wanted to jump in. Please go ahead.
Oh, sure. But, well, you know, obviously, why the hell is this their business? I mean, the bottom line is they want to know where you were, with whom you spoke, what was the information, why did the information come forth. They want to know every detail about every person that's involved in something that's a totally normal First Amendment right. That's what freedom of the press is about. That's what freedom of speech is about. It's what it's always been about. But here's the interesting thing. They didn't care when the tables were turned. They didn't care when it was conservative folks that weren't allowed to speak, when it was conservative news people, when it was conservative people who spoke out, they couldn't care if they were cut out. Well, all of a sudden now they care a lot about what Twitter's doing. And you know what? If Facebook ever really did a real job and opened up, they'd be after them as well.
Yeah, John, if I can come back to you, you know, obviously as a journalist, I think about the First Amendment. It's very important to me and all of my colleagues, but it's really important to our country as well. Because one of the things that authoritarian regimes will do, and we've seen this time and time again in other countries, the first thing they do is try to stifle the press so they can control the narrative. And that's what makes the United States different. That's what makes our Constitution different with respect to the rights that we have here. And so talk to me a little bit about why Twitter needs to fight back and why basically our viewers and the American people have to understand why this is so important.
You know, the Twitter files was a story about malfeasance in our government. It was about organs of our federal government going to Twitter and pressuring them to censor information right before a presidential election. And now, you know, it wasn't just a story about taxes or gardening. It was a very serious series of stories. And now you see that same federal government trying to get the information of reporters who were involved in it. What do they want this information for? I mean, I just hope all of those reporters' taxes are in order.
Yeah.
So it's very disturbing. There's no reason for them to have it, and it's something that probably should be investigated by the Weaponization Committee.
Congressman Jeff Van Drew, John Levine, gentlemen, thank you so much for stopping by tonight. Appreciate it.
Pleasure to be with you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, there are some renewed calls.